Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Ram Dhamija. Welcome to my channel. Today is 12th of October and it's a Sunday. And there has been a big development over the weekend wherein Mr. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has imposed a tariff of 100% additional over and above the tariff that is existing for China. So that has rattled the world markets and there has been a complete mayhem not only in the equity markets, which did not have too much time to react before this announcement was made, but also the crypto market has completely crashed. It has been the biggest single one-day crash ever in the crypto markets because these were the only two markets that were open. The gold and silver market are holding firm, but we have seen that the reaction that has come from the equity markets is very, very strong, with the US indices falling as high as 2 to 3%, and even our own gift Nifty fell 200 points on this particular announcement. So the details of this announcement were not really known. Now the details of this announcement have come out, from when they are going to get implemented, what is the percentage, and so on. So Monday might be very, very rough for the markets, and the market reaction is likely to be very, very negative worldwide, because it's a very, very big announcement. It's not a small announcement if implemented. There are some people who are thinking that this might not go through, and this will finally be negotiated and averted, because there are still 22 days for this to take shape. This is going to come in effect from 1st of November. But if it is not curtailed, or if it is not rolled back, then it's going to be a very, very big escalation, because this not only encompasses the goods, it is also restriction on the software services which US provides. So for the first time we are seeing that US is threatening to impose tariffs on software services exports, and they are saying that we are going to control that as well. So I'll take you through the entire structure of the market, what is in store, and what is the news flow looking like. Yesterday I had made a video on gold and silver, especially silver, the price of silver. If you want, you can check it out. I will put a link in the description also. And before we begin our video, just something about me. I am a full-time derivatives trader, investor, and a mutual fund specialist. I help people make mutual fund portfolios. So if anyone is looking to evaluate their existing mutual fund portfolio or needs help in building a new mutual fund portfolio, they can contact me through the description given in the through the link given in the description below, and I shall get back to you. It's all free of cost, and it basically it'll help you in building your portfolio if you're looking to do that. So let's begin today's video with this is the tweet that started it all. This was a tweet by Mr. Trump. It says, "It has just been learned that China has taken extraordinary aggressive position on trade in sending an extremely hostile letter to the world, stating that they are going to effective 1st November impose large-scale export controls on virtually every product that they make." So basically he is referring to the rare earths. So this actually whole thing started with that China has a full dominance on rare earths minerals, and that is where they're turning on the screws. So based on the fact that China has taken this unprecedented position, US is going to impose an 100% additional tariff over and above the tariff that may exist, that they're currently existing. It is impossible to believe that China would have taken such a action, but they have. Rest is history. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So this is where it is. So 100% tariff on over and above 30% tariff that China already faces. And this was the reaction. As you can see, this is Nasdaq 100 of US. It immediately fell. This, you can see this big red line, and it fell almost 3%. You can't see such a big drop. Such a big drop actually came in somewhere in April during the Liberation Day. And after that, such a big drop has not come. I can't even see any other time. Yeah, somewhere over here it had come in December 20. So it's a big drop. It's a huge drop that's come in Nasdaq, and not only Nasdaq, all the other markets of US are also kind of struggling. So what will basically this entail is that there is already a tariff of first, initially what happened was that, I'll just take you slightly to history what exactly happened. So Mr. Trump had actually announced the tariffs on all the countries on Liberation Day, and China was one of them. So the tariffs were about 30-40%. Then China retaliated, then US retaliated, then so finally the tariffs went to some as high as 250%. Finally, after which there was a delegation that met in, I think, Switzerland, wherein they decided that they're going to negotiate, and the tariffs were rolled back. So currently, finally the settlement that was reached was 30% tariffs on the Chinese goods will be imposed by US, which China also agreed to because they have a huge surplus in trade with the US to the tune. I'll show you the exact surplus. It's about close to $300 billion from various estimates. Some estimates say it's also more than $500 billion. Some estimates say it's $1 trillion because they use Mexico as a hub to send in their goods. So anyway, so point being that it was finally at 30%. Now with this coming in, this tariff coming in, it's going to get raised to 130%. So it's basically that trade between US and China will stall if this happens. And what is going to be the implication of that? Of course, US can't afford to do that, because if China imposes some counter tariffs, then all the Chinese goods are going to become so expensive in US, and it's going to virtually be impossible for US to control this. And at the same time, if US imposes software controls and restrictions on China, then it's going to be tough over there as well. So we are seeing some sort of a division happening in the world order right now, which is not good for the world per se, but it might not be such a bad thing for us in India, because if the US market is starved of Chinese goods, then we have possibly some opening somewhere wherein our exports might benefit. So I am basically relieved that we are not in the crosshairs, because all the other news till now was, be it pharma, H1B or whatever, was India centric. So we were at the receiving end, and that is where our markets were reacting. But this news is not, thankfully not India centric, and we just might benefit from it. So now coming to, this was the Nasdaq. As I said, it fell 3.5%. This is where the first tweet came out, and after that it has just been going down. You look at, this is the chart that I was talking about. This basically shows that the trade deficit between China and US. So the red line shows what China reports, the blue line is what US reports. So it's anywhere between 300 to 350. This is the official number, but it again varies by country, by whichever institution you're taking it. So this is from the Federal Reserve. So they are saying that the deficit is around about 325 billion. In my estimate, it's going to be over $1 trillion, because China uses Vietnam, China uses Mexico as their hubs from where they export to US. And not only US market, so you can look at it, this is the world market reaction. So US small cap fell 3%. Then you look at other markets which are open at that point in time. So FTSE fell almost 2%, CAC fell 1.5%, and Nikkei was closed at that point in time, but these all will also open up at some point in time. So everything fell basically, and the biggest casualty of all, it was this Bitcoin. So if you see, Bitcoin from 125 has come to 111. It is still falling. Even today it is falling. So this is the only thing that is open on weekend. So if you see over here, all the cryptocurrencies fell. They crashed completely. So you look at this, look at the 7-day, because 24 hours is it doesn't encompass that. So Bitcoin has fallen about 10%. Ethereum has fallen 16%. XRP has fallen 21%. Solana has fallen 23%. So the entire this thing, Dogecoin has fallen 30%. So entire Bitcoin has and cryptocurrency universe has kind of collapsed. And there were a lot of news coming in that a lot of traders have got wound up, and their trades were kind of closed because they were leveraged, highly leveraged. So I don't understand how this part of the markets work actually, because I think these are, I don't personally believe in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. Last I saw, there were 10,000 cryptocurrencies listed on investing.com. So I mean, if there are 10,000 cryptocurrencies, then how will you determine what is the value of these? Can you buy anything with any one of them? I don't know. I don't think so. So I call me an old school investor or whatever. I firmly believe that asset classes which have stood the test of time are the ones that one should be invested in. And if you will read history, and if you will read books on financial euphoria, you will realize that every now and then there has been some financial euphoria, be it the South Sea bubble, be it tulip mania, be it there have been thousands of them which have spread across, and all of them actually have, it's not that so the argument given is that no, cryptocurrency has been there for a long time, and so on and so forth, and it's doing well, it's going up in value. Once you read financial history, you will realize that all the bubbles actually go up initially. They go up for a very long time, till the time that they don't, and they pop, and then there's a huge recession. So I just hope that whatever this cryptocurrency thing is, at least those 8,000-10,000 cryptocurrencies which are there, I don't know what their value is, who is controlling them, Why do they go up? What can you transact in them? So it's a complete black box over there. So if any one of you is invested in it, please be very careful. Please know what you're doing. Definitely don't be leveraged in them, because otherwise, I was reading that how overnight with this kind of a fall, people have got wiped out completely. So please consult your financial advisor before getting into any of these assets which are not regulated. So now coming to after that, the reaction of our own gift Nifty. So it fell 200 points. So as you can see from the chart over here, this is when the news actually broke out somewhere over here, and it had actually started to go down a bit, but after that, once the news came out, then it completely fell. So you can see it has actually fallen by almost 200 points. So there will be reaction on Monday morning. Asia is going to open up to this news, and I don't think the reaction is going to be pretty. So initially, be ready for some sort of a jerk. It will depend on how we navigate this. I personally don't think we should be hit that badly, because just look at this Nifty chart that I had talked about on Friday. So we had taken out a complete resistance zone of 25,100 with this green candle, and I had said we are going to consolidate. So are we going to make a dash up right now? I said no, we are going to probably consolidate in this range and then go up. So this bar that you're going to see probably tomorrow, the red bar that's going to come, is going to be the consolidation. I'm hoping that we are able to protect 25,000. If we are not able to protect 25,000, then 24,600 becomes very, very important, because then if we break below 24,600, that will indicate that there is something wrong in the Indian markets per se. If we are able to protect that, then if we should be able to make a dash up. So that is my hypothesis, and I have the right to be wrong, but this is what the setup that I'm working with. And any opportunity, any dip should be a good buying opportunity in my understanding, because this is not a India specific news. If this happens also, India perhaps is going to benefit in some form or the other. So any fall, any dip is a good time to accumulate, to add to your portfolio. Add it via mutual funds. Please don't add it via individual stocks or stocks with questionable names that you don't understand. Build a solid mutual fund portfolio. You are getting mutual funds which in such dips at lower NAV, so try and accumulate more units during such points in time, and also diversify your portfolio properly. Don't be focused on one particular segment within a mutual fund. Like for example, don't be just focused on small cap or mid cap, or have a healthy balance of all these in your portfolio. And as I have said before, if anyone is interested to know more about mutual funds, to know how you can construct these kind of portfolios, and how you can probably try to generate some alpha over the markets, you can please fill up the Google form in the description below. I will be happy to chat with you, and then we'll see if we can work together. It's, as I said, it's free of cost. So this is the Nifty chart that we have just discussed. So this is another thing in economic times. US 100% tariff war on China could fire up India's big gain. So this is what I was also saying, that it is probably positive for us in some form or the other. So I will not be overtly worried about this. Yes, it's going to trigger a big trade war, etc. But we have seen that these things do have a mechanism of sorting themselves out. And specifically, when this 20 days deadline has been given, it basically means that US also somewhere wants to negotiate with China on this. So I'm hoping that there will be some negotiation, some middle ground that will be reached, like it was reached last time as well, and things will even out. So there will be some reaction tomorrow in the market, but I don't foresee that it might be very long term. Two worrying thing that you have to watch out for. One is crypto, which is indicating that there is a lot of stress in the system. The second is gold and silver. The way prices of gold and silver are going, they need to cool down a bit. Otherwise, this could mean that there is some metal exchange which might go under. There are European banks which might get under stress, because the entire stress that is happening in the metals exchanges is happening in LBMA. That is what I understand by reading whatever is available on the net. So all the stress is in LBMA right now. COMEX, which is the New York Metal Exchange, is absolutely fine. They don't have any issues. But if, let's say, LBMA defaults or LBMA enforces force majeure, then that would mean that European banks will come under stress. And one of the European banks who might not have such good balance sheets, etc., if, let's say, it implodes, or there is some problem, the contagion effect might be there. So that is what we have to be worried about. So if anything happens on gold and silver, that is what we need to watch out for. There are already shortages prices of gold and silver that have been reported. Even if you look at over here, from whatever anecdotal things that I'm hearing, that silver prices have shot up to 180, 190 per kilogram. So that is something that we need to be watchful for. And I was just seeing that, just look at this. There is some lines outside Sydney and so on. Look at ABC Bullion Exchange. So people are like queuing up to buy. So these are typical signs that there is demand, huge demand. So that is what we need to watch out for. Now coming to the open interest, our open interest, as I had talked about, is fine. As of now it's at 1.4, so it is all good. FIs have started to buy a bit, so our markets are insulated right now. There is huge put writing that has happened in 25,300, 25,200. So one can argue both ways, that if these levels are going to break only at open, then they are going to, these puts are going to rush for closing short. It's going to be a long covering, so to say. So that might create some pressure on the markets. But right now, as I see it, the gap is high. 6 crore contracts is the gap on overall, and in the close contracts the gap is about 1.5. So that's not much if you ask me, but yes, I mean, we are at least not positioned for a fall right now. So let us see how that plays out. What else is there? This is the international market chart. Everything is in red, as you can see, and yes, you can look at the S&P VIX. It's risen to 31%. I know that VIX is a percentage, so seeing a percentage on percentage is not correct, but if you look at in absolute, it has moved up by 5 points and 31% in terms of the overall. So these kind of high VIX usually happened during Liberation Day, during COVID, and so on and so forth. So it's very, very high. And gold and silver, the only ones which ended up in green. So I have made a video about it yesterday, so if anyone is interested, they can go and have a look at it. So silver, as I had said, is up to 2.53%. We'll have to see how it opens on Monday. If it is a stressful opening, then we are looking at big problems. If it is contained, then it's fine. So yeah, anything else that we need to talk about? No, I think that's it. So let's see how the opening is. I am hopeful that we should be able to manage this. There's going to be stress for one day for sure on Monday, but hopefully things will cool down. Maybe we'll get some good news coming in from US, from China. If gold and silver actually cool down a bit, then that's going to signal some sort of a temporary relief in the markets. But otherwise, it might be a turbulent day on Monday. So be prepared. Don't be in a state of panic. In fact, look to accumulate wherever you can, and make your portfolio sensibly. As I've maintained, gold and silver should also be part of your portfolio because they provide you a hedge on such days. So you will see that the equity portfolio might be under stress on Monday, but if you have gold and silver in your portfolio, your portfolio will be very well balanced. So you should have a component of debt, equities, precious metals, and so on in your portfolio. And all these things are possible to make by mutual funds as well. So if you don't have these already in your mutual funds, you should perhaps look at adding them also. Not a financial advice, just a disclaimer. Please consult your financial advisor before taking any decision on this aspect. So that's it from me now. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please do subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you soon with another update. Take care. Bye bye.